Hi, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of our customer interview series. Today, I'm joined by Mr. George Heron from Forever Jack. George, good to have you with us today.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Excellent to have you. So today, we're going to find out a bit more about your business, and you've got really quite an interesting company. Obviously, you supply a lot of military memorabilia, and you still supply the armed services. So can you give us just a little bit of information about how you got started?
Yes, well, we do supply both serving and retired military personnel. The company's called Forever Jack, and as I say, we got started about 7 years ago, basically selling T-shirts, and the demand was so much for the T-shirts. I decided to branch out into other aspects. We went to embroidering, then we went to engraving with the old pantograph engravers. And then we moved on from there and went to laser engraving and all sorts of stuff now.
So your old engraving machine, we know you've got your laser now. What was kind of the catalyst to swapping? I know you still use them in conjunction sometimes, but what really kind of made you want to go with laser?
Well, I've been coming down to Trotec regularly to get my supplies, and I kind of kept looking on the boards because you had some boards on the outside, and it had all these wonderful text and graphics and stuff. And that I knew that with my previous engraving machine, I was never going to get that quality. And I got talking to some of your staff one day, and I asked them how they got that quality, and they said, "Well, it's lasered." And I thought, that's interesting. That's the sort of quality that I want to be doing and putting out. So
Absolutely. You've got our Rayjet machine, isn't it?
I have, yes.
Yeah, and obviously it was quite, you actually came in and had a demo when you came in to pick up some cutters, if I remember correctly. So obviously it was a
That
bit,
was exactly it. I did. I came in to get some diamond cutters for the engraving machine that I had. And the thing with that machine, it limited me. It was very labor intensive. It was very slow. It was very time consuming, and well, it was expensive to run as well. And I come into Trotec to buy some of the diamond engraving tools that go with that particular machine, and that's how I ended up having a look at your laser range. And I was introduced to the Speedy range and some of the other bigger machines. And well, as I say, the rest's history, isn't it?
with your engraving machine, with the quality, say, for example, if you were to do multiple jobs with your laser, is it guaranteed every time? And the engraver may be off a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes the engraver can be temperamental. It's an old machine. These machines have been around for dozens and dozens of years, and it can be temperamental. It can be very frustrating, and the customer expects the quality to be consistent throughout. And we work very closely with the Ministry of Defence, serving members of the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force and Army, and they have particular needs and particular requirements for to meet your license agreement. Your quality has to be there, and sometimes with the older machine, it's not consistent. You will get a little bit of slippage, and it's not good fun when you're using you're engraving a 30 or 40 pound pewter tankard and it goes wrong. It's quite frustrating, in fact. Whereas with the laser, it saves the file. You put the product in, press go, and you've got a facility where you just reset the job and it starts again, and it picks up exactly the same parameters. So you don't have to keep reloading the job like you do with the other machines.
No, that's excellent. And like you say, if you're on quite rigid guidelines as to what's needed, that's obviously
Yeah.
the peace of mind is brilliant to have that. Obviously, the Rayjet, I'm guessing it's a little desktop machine, and compared to your old engraving machine, I'm sure it's quite a sizable reduction in size. But obviously, like you see, you get a lot better quality, and probably are you
Oh,
more
definitely.
and more
Definitely,
productive
yeah.
as well.
Oh, the laser machine is literally just about never off. One of the things about having a company like mine is it relies on your own imagination and your own creative skills to push the boundaries, so to speak. And that's one of the things that, if you don't mind me blowing my own trumpet, I'm pretty good at. I come up with some very unique and some very bespoke products, and the laser now makes that so much more easy to produce. And I can push the boundaries even further now.
But you still use your old rotary engraver. So, what kind of
Yeah.
jobs do you actually, say, like, do you do something on the laser, then maybe add a little bit with that, or is it a case of only very specific jobs you use that for?
We use that for very specific jobs. Obviously, with the laser, there are limitations. Let's not get away from that. The laser does have limitations. So we do rely on the old style engraving machine to do that, because you need that sort of level of depth, if you like, of the engrave. So by and large, what I do is I use the older rotary engraver with the diamond tips and stuff to do that sort of work. The laser I use to do everything else. And I've just discovered when I bought the laser from you guys, I also purchased the rotary machine, and it sat in the box for the past 2 or 3 years. And I kind of thought, I'm going to have a look at this rotary addition to the laser and see what it does, and see if I can take some of the work away from the diamond engraver and bring it to the laser, again, for speed. Whereas we were doing shot glasses now, or October time and thereabouts, Trafalgar celebrations go on throughout the Royal Navy service fleet. And we usually get 200, 300, 400 shot glasses to do in any given time, and they take forever. I mean, they take 10 or 15 minutes each. So when you're doing 400, it's quite a laborious task. And I recently thought, I'm going to try this rotation device and see if I can get them to work on the laser. And lo and behold, I've managed to do that now. So I've cut the time down to about, I think it's about 1 minute, 5 seconds per shot glass. So from 15 minutes to 1 minute 5, it's amazing. I can now put out 400 shot glasses in a day just by using the laser. And the quality is as good, if not slightly better, than I would get off the diamond engraver. And again, I'm not using any consumables, because, the diamond tips are about 105, 120 pounds, depending on which one you use. And they only last for a certain period of time. So I'm kind of having to use diamond tips regularly when I'm getting big orders like that. But now with the laser, I don't need to.
I was going to say, and that's again a bit of a saving as well, because you'd have to factor
definitely
in whether the jobs you're actually going to pay for all these cutters and engravers you've got to use. Yeah, brilliant. And I think one of the things we discussed previously on your written case study was the fact that you've supplied troops in the Falkland Islands as well. So, I mean, is it far and wide, or is that the furthest you've been, so to speak?
Oh, we go worldwide. The great thing with having, the skill sets that I've got personally, and the machinery and the infrastructure, is we can come up with some very unique and very bespoke products. The laser obviously makes that possible as well. So I design the stuff on my home computers through the usual sort of design software. Then I put it into the laser and create the product using all the different product types that you guys supply: the woods, the plastics, the metals, the galvanized, the ionized. Aluminium things and stuff like that. We use all the range of products that you guys supply, and we can come up with some very, very unique gifts. And the one that you refer to, the Falklands, there was a young chap who sadly lost his life during the Falklands conflict of 1982. His parents recently died, and he was buried at sea, and they wanted to be buried with him in the same spot. And in true naval fashion, the Navy took the remains of the parents to the actual site and scattered their ashes over the ashes of their son down in the Falkland Islands. And we were approached to make the official plaques of memorial, if you like, that were placed on 3 different locations in the Falkland Islands and in the Ministry of Defence building, marking that occasion. And it was because of the laser that we could come up with that level of quality and that level of graphic design to create that. And we were very touched and very honoured to be part of the process of getting those memorial plaques made and sent out to the Falkland Islands. So a little bit of Trotec's out in the Falkland Islands as well, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like you said, that is a very touching. Obviously, it's a very touching story, and the fact that, like you say, it's going to last the test of time.
Yeah, one of the other things that we do quite a lot of, which again is only made possible by the laser, is everybody who's served in the Navy, the Army, or the RAF, they might go from battalion to battalion, ship to ship, station to station, and they have a record of their service. And one of the things we invented recently was a laser etched plate that is mounted and put on their wall, and it has the badges of each service that they've been with, or each unit, or each ship that they've served on, and then their service details. And we find those are very, very popular at the minute, because we are the only company in the UK that I know of that actually does that particular product. And it was something that I came up with myself. I did one for myself because I wanted to remember my service, and it looked so good. I thought, I'm going to put that on the website and see what happens. And they've proven to be very, very popular, very unique gifts. You can't get them anywhere else.
And again, it's you did something for yourself, and then you thought, oh well, why not put that out there? And that's I guess another good thing with your laser. You can be like, oh well, I've done it for myself, but other people will definitely like that. And you've mentioned our materials and indeed our rotary cutters that we do supply. How would you find using them? So is the settings easy to use and that kind of thing?
Yeah, when you buy the laser, you have a lot of set default, if you like. So if you select wood, you click on the wood, select, you tell it the depth of wood that you've got, 3-5 millimeters or whatever it is, and it pretty much has presets there. Sometimes you have to tweak them slightly to give a little bit more power and a little bit less speed, but you learn this as you go. But the presets are there. They're a great help, and they certainly get you started and get you used to how the machine works. And sometimes you might have to go over it again because it hasn't cut down deep enough. But as I say, over the years, you get used to what you can and can't do, and what settings are and are within the right parameters. It's trial and error, really. But 9 times out of 10, they're spot on. Very, very easy to use. And what is it they call is it Ray Manager or something? The software
Rayjet Manager.
Yeah, Manager. Fantastic piece of software. Everything you need is there. You just click the buttons, press go, and the laser does the rest.
That's brilliant. Like you say, it's what you want. Hit the ground running. Just put it in.
Exactly. Cool. Yeah, exactly. And the great thing is, James, the laser, you return on investment. If you get it right, the return on investment doesn't take long. The laser works for itself. And as I say, my laser, in the time that I've had it, it's rarely turned off. To be fair, there isn't a day goes by when it isn't doing something. And when it's doing stuff, it's making its living, it's earning its money, and my biggest regret, I think, is I didn't go for the bigger one. I went for the entry level. I should have maybe went for the next one up, because I would have been able to do some of the jobs in half the time than maybe the smaller one takes. But even so, it still is a massive time saving against the older format of engraving.
Excellent. Okay. And so thank you very much today, George. It's been great to hear more about Forever Jack, and obviously you're certainly getting your money's worth out of your laser and showing that it's a great investment. So thank you for your time today.
No problem at all. And thank you very much for Trotec for all your help. And let's have a great future together as well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.